I lost 10 pounds this month all because I dropped these 3 specific limiting beliefs that used to have me on a chokehold, and I'm gonna share with you exactly what those were so you can see if that applies, but I'm fairly sure all of them, especially the last one, will apply. Let's talk about the main 3 limiting beliefs that used to keep me stuck in binging mode, in constant weight gain, no energy, hating myself, hating my body, very self-conscious, especially with around my boyfriend and the clothes I could wear because I hated, like, I couldn't fit into my clothes as comfortable. You can see my belly, hated it. And if you want the actual method, I highly suggest that you watch this training. This is gonna give you the exact step-by-step. This one is just about the limiting beliefs and exactly what is preventing you in your head from dropping at least 10 pounds. Because summer is in, what, 5 weeks now? And I've been on this journey for 5 weeks, and so far I've lost 11 pounds. Therefore, do you see the potential to be like double before like summer? 22, can you imagine? Anyways, I'll document that. Let's talk about the limiting beliefs. I have my little notes here just in case I forget anything. Let's get into it. Oh, before I start, for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Flo. I'm a certified personal trainer, and my mission on here is basically to help you get your dream body without making your life a nightmare and without losing your head. The first limiting belief was that I had to be perfect if I wanted to be successful. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because when you have this mentality, what do? You try to eat in a crazy ass deficit, only perfect healthy food, right? You try to have the, I don't know, the yogurt bowl for breakfast and then just a salad with like nothing on it for lunch, no snack, and you try to power through for dinner, and then dinner you have a poor little carrot on your plate. No. And in terms of workout, what does that look like? Long cardio workouts. And you have to have that, and then maybe on top of that you have, oh, I have to drink 1 gallon of water, and I have to do the castor oil, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. No. The problem with this mentality is that you are going to fuck up no matter what. What does that mean for me? I had one day when I wasn't in the deficit that I had planned. I did skip a couple workouts, especially at the beginning, because it was a little bit difficult to get into it. And you know, it just hasn't been a perfect journey. I have had the urge to binge, which I didn't act on, luckily. But that still means that sometimes I would have a second breakfast, because that is my automatic response to having the urge to binge now. It's just like, okay, that means I need comfort. For me, the most comforting food is breakfast, so let me make a second breakfast. Regardless of, you know, if it's lunch, if it's dinner, I don't care. It's gonna be automatic breakfast. Point being, you will never be perfect. And I've made videos about how, you know, you just have to be consistent, and you are going to fuck up because you are going to miss a workout, as I did. You are going to be not in the deficit you said, as I did. You are going to eat stuff that aren't part of the plan, as I did. You cannot eat 100% healthy because that's going to drive you crazy, as it used to do for me. Now I still eat, you know, cheese quesadillas. My goal was for this first month to actually include in my diet the fear food that used to trigger a binge. For example, cookies and cookie dough, those are huge for me. And I've had like a couple cookies this month, went okay. Did I feel the urge? Yes. Was it a little triggering? Yes. Did it go okay? Also yes. Cheese quesadillas, that is my favorite food on earth. Not my favorite, but that's something I really love, and that's something I used to binge on. And I'm gonna add a few, you know, exhibits here. And I've had those almost every day, like from, yeah, I have those like at least 4 to 5 times per week because I love it. And I'm still in my protein goal, and I'm still in my calorie deficit. The goal here is just to make sure that you include the food you love while still, you know, hitting your goals. So that means that I was really smart with how I would, you know, include my protein throughout the day. So at the end of the day, I would have whatever I wanted. And that translated into a cheese quesadilla. But of course, this makes you hungry. So what do? Because it's not like really nutrient dense, right? So what do? You add a ton of protein and you add a ton of veggies next to it. So you have all of that. It's not that many calories. It's high in protein, high in fiber. It's delicious, and you get to your goals. I mean, you get to your goals. And in terms of, you know, having to be perfect, that also usually meant that I had to go from nothing to 100, from no workout to 5 workouts, 6 workouts, 7 workouts every week, from 0 deficit and binging every night to having a crazy well, not a crazy, to having like a big deficit. No. No, 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 no. What did I do? I went in steps. I was gonna swear, but I didn't. We're trying not to swear anymore. When I got back from the US, I was overweight, had 0 energy, and was crying about my body and you know, brain fog and about just life in general every day. So I decided, you know what is the least what's the word, objectionable thing I can do right now to help and get into, you know, a rhythm. I figured, you know what, I'm gonna start with having the usual healthy breakfast that I love, and I'm gonna go for a 15-minute walk at some point during the day. And since I couldn't go on my own, I would go with my brother, who had to drag my ass through it because I had zero energy. And we can blame a little bit the jet lag, but not for that long. That's the first thing I did, and I was not tracking my calories immediately. I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna try to not binge anymore. We're just gonna try to make one step in the right direction. And then the binge stopped. So I was like, interesting. And then I was like, okay, let's track at maintenance just to make my brain realize that it's safe to track. We're not gonna trigger a binge because it's maintenance. So, you know, I just started to associate tracking with being okay, because that used to create a binge, right? Usually if I started tracking, and that's something I started back in November, because I'm slightly lower than the weight I started out in November when I was telling you guys, okay, you know what, I fucked up, let me lose some weight. The moment I tracked, I used to binge. We're gonna get into that in a second. But the point is, I used to associate tracking with restriction and binging. So I was like, let's try to smooth a little bit this and make sure that I don't automatically binge if I, you know, track food. So I tracked at maintenance. So if I wanted to eat 2,700 calories a day, I would track afterwards. So therefore I had no idea at first what it would look like. I had no idea about the calories until after I'd eaten it, and then it was too late. And yeah, the point was just to associate tracking safety. From there, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere good now. What about tracking at a slight deficit? So I did a 10-15% calorie deficit, which ended up being like 2,200 calories. And you know, I was a little bit hungry, but that was the time to test how do I answer to hunger, because if I had been binging immediately, I would have stopped, right? But I wasn't. And I was like, okay, how can I deal better with hunger? And the thing is, I used to want to binge because I wanted my stomach to stretch. Like, that's a feeling I enjoy. So what did I do? I decided, okay, I can just drink sparkling water, and with like a lemony 0-calorie lemonade type of flavor that I would add, and I still do, works really well. So that was one of my tricks. And I would also chew gum, although my brother owes me 1 pack of gums and I still haven't seen it. I don't know if I'm gonna see it, but he owes me a lot of things from bet he lost. Anyways, I found tricks to make sure that I wouldn't binge and that I wasn't miserable on the journey. So I had that little deficit for a while, and then I decided, okay, I have a weight goal, everything's going fine, weirdly enough, and we're going to talk about that, the binges aren't there anymore. How about I go for the deficit that I had planned to get to the goal that I have for the deadline that I have? Did that. Again, watch the training. It's going to be linked at the end and you'll be able to see it. I have an entire training on how I lost the 10 pounds in 4 weeks, and it went really well. Now, did I still have the urge to binge? Yes. But I was able to ride the wave way better, and I have a little video on that coming out very soon. So yeah, I mean, just check my page and you'll see if there is something about riding the urge of binging. I don't know if it was a tangent or if it's okay, but that was the biggest limiting belief was about having to be perfect from 0 to 100. No, you have to do it by steps. So this is how I did it, by steps. And you know, from the 15-minute walk, I went for like longer walks. And then I went for a short run, and then for a longer run. And today I'm going for a 12K, which might not happen, honestly. I might just stop at 8 because my knees are kind of hurting me. Little tangent. Every kilo you lose, you will actually, like, your knees will basically lose 4 kilos of impact on it. And I'm sure I'm not saying it well, so I'll try to have editing flow do something here. But basically, you know, if you have knees problem and you are overweight, chances are it's like going to help to lose the weight, because I can definitely feel that my knees are better now on my runs, but it's still not perfect. So I'm excited to lose, like, you know, 5 more kilos. There will already be 20 less kilo on my knees. So yeah, point being, we first drop the I have to be perfect limiting belief, because no, you don't. You will never be perfect. So just drop this and figure out a way to not be perfect and still show up. One of the other beliefs that sort of, you know, relates to that is that I used to think that I had to work out every day. What a big mistake. No, because that almost got me injured. A couple days ago, I hadn't been resting for a few days, and you know, like I mean a week, and I was going every day, either workout, or I would go like for runs and so on, so I hadn't rested, and I knew that I was supposed to, but I was like, oh come on, I want to do the run because the weather's nice, let's go. Turned out, I was supposed to do an 8K run. First steps, I was like, oh my god, my knees and my ankles, like I almost fell because my ankles were just like, bye. And my knees were really painful. I pushed through, I was like, well, maybe it just needs to warm up. I do a warm up, it was warmed up, but anyways. And I went for I ran 2K, painfully. I managed to push through to the 3rd K, and then I had to turn around because I was exhausted and it was just not okay. That's the power of taking rest days. Plus, I had been on a weight plateau since like last Monday, so it's gonna be 9 days, and it was like I knew that it was like plateau and it was normal, it was like this thing, and then I also was gonna be on my periods as we went closer to the end of the week, so I was very much going to be you know, having more water retention due to that, so I was like, it's fine, it's okay. Yesterday I took a rest day. I went for a 40-minute walk. That is it, just because it makes me feel weird not to go outside, so it's more a mental health thing now than an actual like I need to burn calories. So yesterday I was at almost 75, and this morning I had lost like 700 grams overnight, and that's because of the rest day. Like every single time you get stuck and you're like, you know, going through a weight plateau, every single time every single time I've done it, and even for my clients that's the same, we have to take a rest day. And my clients work out like 4 to 5 hours max, but you know, usually it's the rest day that does the thing. You have to take a rest day, and then it's gonna break through the plateau. Do not work out every day because, you know, injuries, weight plateau, like nothing good happens from working out every day. There is no point in that. I had to learn it the hard way, I guess. So hopefully today's run will go well. If not, I'll get some sunshine. Right now, what I do is I do 2 weightlifting sessions per week because I'm struggling to enjoy working out from home. So I would love to be able to do the usual upper lower split because I really enjoy that, but I'm really struggling with that. So I decided I'm gonna do 2 full bodies, and that's already like a struggle to get to it. I usually shorten the sessions. I can do 4 exercises instead of 6, and I might add a leg day because I want to keep my glutes. Make sure I do, even though my protein intake has been skyrocket. So I do that, and on top of that I do 3 runs per week. That is it. I work out 5 times per week, and most of my workouts are about 30-40 minutes. Therefore, you know, you do the math. I don't work out more than 3-4. I have 1 long run. The other workouts are like 40 minutes. You do the math, I don't work out more than 4-5 hours per week. So like, and neither do my clients, because what's the point? And it's interesting how I struggle to apply my own advice. Like I've known for a while, you have to take rest days, you have to make sure that, you know, you don't work out every day. Flow. Anyways, moving on to the last one, and that's the most important one. Oh no, isn't that disappointing? That's gonna stress me out the whole editing time. It's fine, we'll deal with it. I really wanted to get this video out. I'll gain the weight back anyways because I'll end up binging. And that had been the truth. For 6 years, I was binging a couple times per month, and like at its lowest, and then a couple times per day at its hardest. And so I was like, you know what? It's just my identity. I'm a binge eater. Based on all the videos I've made, what do we know about thinking that you are the identity of this, that you actually believe that you are a binge eater? Therefore, no matter how hard you try, you are going to binge. So I decided, you know what? No, maybe this was my previous identity. Maybe I used to fail because of this, and that can apply even if you don't binge eat. That can apply to, oh, I failed because that's just who I am, I always end up quitting. Whatever beliefs you have about yourself. So I had the identity of, I'm a binge eater. I decided, no, fuck that. He said I wasn't swearing. Sorry. So I decided, you know what, I drop this. That's not me. That's not me anymore. Nope. I'm not. Maybe I might have binge episodes in the future because it can happen on a healing journey, but I refuse to believe that I'm a binge eater. This is not me. Who's that girl? And that changed everything because I had that moment, that click in the brain that I keep talking about, that just made me decide, nope. Who's that person? I do not do that. I am not this. And that's just the fact of separating yourself from the binge eating identity to like, this is you. It starts creating space, and the more you stabilize yourself there, the more it's gonna go like, you know, further along in the past, and then it's just gonna be like, I don't know who that person is. Maybe that used to be me, definitely not anymore. Plus there are so many reasons as to why I was binging, which is like the whole pattern in the brain from calorie deficit to binging to over-restricting to binging. So there was a lot of that, whether it was in terms of quality of food, you know, not having this specific food because it was bad, or not having enough food because, you know, I'm trying to lose weight really quickly. All things like that. So after years of, you know, struggling with that and having a history with binge eating, I am the proud owner of a 44-day streak on this widget. And yes, I'm really happy about it. It's never happened in 6 years. 44 days. That's what, 6 weeks? 6, yeah, 6 weeks. That's a bit over 6 weeks now. I can't believe, but I haven't been able to say that in 6 years. And now it's just, I'm telling you, there is something clicked. No more binging. The other 2 limiting beliefs probably helped, and then I lost 10 pounds. And it was easy. Now, doesn't mean that the urge doesn't come back, but again, I separate myself from this, like, okay, I feel the urge to binge. Why? What's going on? Do I need comfort? Do I need more food? Is there like some type of inconvenience that I need to address in another way because it's gonna come back the moment I'm done binging? Oh, yeah. Then you do that and then the binges go away. One of the best thing that I found is you have to wait. And there is an entire, you know, things in the brain, like the more you train yourself to wait, you will start associating that with a win, therefore it will release dopamine and you'll get better and better at waiting and therefore not binging anymore. I just paint my nails. I did that a couple times and I'll just paint my nails and it works like a charm. So now I gave myself the permission to eat whatever I wanted within reason, within the deficit. If I crave chocolate tonight, I will have chocolate. And that resulted in fewer cravings, first of all. I also sleep more, that way I have enough energy. I missed my alarm today. It's not happened very often. And it's interesting, it's every time I have a YouTube video to film, I miss my alarm. Today was like an hour, I think, that I overslept. I woke up like, ooh, okay. But it was nice because that meant that coffee was already ready instead of me having to push the button, my mom did. And yeah, I liked having to just get downstairs, have the coffee, and then go back in bed to work because, yeah, at 6:30 I'm working, but I'm working from my bed. Thank you very much. So yeah, less cravings, less urges, and I still think about the food. And the thing is, the moment I'm like, ooh, I would love to binge on this, I'm like, okay, this means that I don't eat this food enough. How can I include it a bit more in my diet right now in order to not feel that craving? So, you know, for example, at first it was the cookies. So tonight, well, this afternoon I'm making cookies for my brother and I might have one. I might not, but I might have one. And the cheese quesadillas were huge. So I'm like, okay, these I craved very early on the journey. So I figured, how can I add it to my diet, to my deficit, to my goals? And that way it will just get rid of the craving because I allow myself to have it so I don't need to binge on it. And that's also been a huge shift. But yeah, I've given you a lot of things and I didn't think I would talk for that long, but apparently I did. That's the second coffee, I guess. And yeah, those are the 3 main mindset shifts that I've, you know, gone through and journaled about and had to think through, especially on my runs and walks. That's also why I do that, because I have the biggest breakthrough and best ideas there. And, you know, that helped me lose those 10 pounds in 30 days. And now I'm at 11 pounds, like a little bit more, actually 11.4 if you really want to do the math. And I'm really happy about this. Can't wait for like 2 months, which is when I'll get back to the US. Like, imagine the potential of where I'll be in 2 months. Amazing. So if you are stuck in the perfectionism loop, if you're stuck in the I have to work out every day and burn myself out mentality, and if you're stuck with the identity of, well, this is who I am, I'm always gonna gain the weight back because, let's journal about it and drop these thoughts, because that's not gonna help you at all. You don't have to hustle your way through results. You just need a better mindset. I keep saying, it all starts in the mind. It all starts in the mind. You will have a fit mind before you have a fit body. Someone said that they really like this quote, so I might, you know, start to say it a little bit more often. Yeah. Think like the fit person who's already had the body. You will not want to rush through things. You will not want to make yourself miserable. You will definitely detach yourself from whatever past identity if you think from the person who's already, the version of you who's already done it. Let me know in the comment which one of these beliefs hit the most, because I'm curious. And if you want help shifting your mindset, your habits, and you're not sure how to get this type of results, because I can do it for myself, but I also have helped so many women do the same, just book a free call down below, completely free, just to see if and how I can help you. And if I can, I 100% will, because if we can all do it, why not you? That was pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.